All right, so we looked at the continuity of our class, which is the procedure which we started in our, for the first part. So for the first part, as you recall, we saw the, let me start it. As you recall from the first part, we looked, the first phase of understanding how the procedure are being created. And this part, you're going to look one more interesting part, and I hope you will enjoy it. All right, hopefully you will enjoy this part. And the main purpose for this, please, whenever you study something, try to practice more, and go deep and try to understand how the things works. So I would like to start with the, just to, to recap of what we have seen in our previous class. We saw something called stored procedure, right? So we saw something called a stored procedure. We understood that a stored procedure, the main purpose of storage procedure is to group two or more SQL or SQL statement, SQL statement, right? SQL statement for what? For what? Let me put a dot there and see if you remember. Why? For? Why do we need stored procedure? For code reusable, for reusable. For the purpose of the usability, the usability, or to the usable, right? We need to reuse the given code. Reusable, right? For using this code, this is the main purpose. We write it, we store the statement so that we can be able to reuse this statement. All right, so this statement which we create, they can be known as a block of code, which are going to use over and over again. Now, in today's chapter, we are going to look one more point here. We are going to look one more point here, which is known as a statement, which is known as control statement. Is anyone who is not feeling okay when I use this interface? You want to have in a PowerPoint? I'm asking. Do you want me to write in a PowerPoint, or this is okay? Okay. All right. So we looked at the control statement. What have you, Mr. Priyesh? Any, right? Okay, great. So control statement, we have the control statement. In a control statement, we have, for example, if we have if else statement, we have case statement. We sometimes, not sometimes, we also have another statement which is known as grouping statement. Among all these, which one do you prefer? Which one are you familiar with in your essential programming language? You have used all of them? All of them, right? So which one seems to be complicated? Or are same or easy to use? For any program, if you are very weak like me, for any program, if else statement is very easy to use. But when it comes to for loop, for while, yes, you need to know how it keeps repeating, right? So in this case of control statement, in stored procedure, we limit ourselves into else and case, if else and case. We not go further into looping, right? And we look to the if else statement. So in this if else statement, just to ask you, in this if else statement, I start here. If else statement. What is if else statement? What is if else? What it does? Mm-hmm. Okay, we said if condition is true, if condition is true, what happened? Then execute. Otherwise, else stop. Else stop. Else also is execution. If condition is true, execute first statement, first block. Else, go to the next. So if one is true, then you execute that block. Otherwise, you skip, you go to the next one. So here, if condition is true, then execute the block one or block statement one. All right, someone is distracted, is smiling and laughing. If the condition is true, then execute block statement one. Block statement one. Else, execute block statement two. You may have like a two block statement, right? Block statement two. So this is the purpose of using if else. So we want to check the condition and try to understand how this condition can be executed. Now, in stored procedure, I just want to give you syntax. Now, how do you write syntax? What could be the syntax of if else in a stored procedure? Syntax is as follows. I'm going to write the syntax as follows. The syntax goes like this. Begin. This is this one is in a stored procedure, right? You say begin. And then this begin is going to be followed by what? Begin is going to be followed by if. Here you have column. Let's say the column n, column which you pass here, any column which you pass in your parameters, followed by expression here. Then here would be then. This then would be followed by, SQL statement. All right, let me write in small letters. Statement. And then followed by else, followed by SQL statement. All right. Now the last one here, we do as follows. We say, and if. All right, we end if in that way. Where it has gone. Oh, I forgot to put the comment there. So this is a syntax. Begin. If condition will be here, or by then, statement to be executed, else, SQL statement or block statement, and if. And if. So we are going to do one of the exercise which will help you to understand how this if else is being used. Now, let's take a case of, we want to display the name of the student from a stored procedure, right? Let me give you the case here, which you're going to use. I'm going to write here the case or example. Suppose, let's say, suppose you want to display the name of student, or let's say you want to execute the name of students who share their last name. Take an example. In a class which you're in, we have 22 students. In the 22 students, we have like 2 students or 5 students who share their last name. We can share their last name, right? I may be called Joe, it may be called Joe, it may be called Mon, it may be called Matthew, Morgan. We can have many. So we want to have a condition. Check if students have the same name, then you're going to do what? Display those names. Else, do something else. Okay? So that's the case which you're going to have. So what we're going to do now, we are going to first go along with me. Let's create one table. So last time we used which one? My procedure, right? So we use the same. We use the store, let's say. Okay, we use my procedure, this one. Now, what we're going to do now, we are going to create a table. A table which we're going to create is a table which is called attendance. All right, create a table. Create table. Table name is attendance. And we have ID, integer, and let this be auto increment, primary key. We have name, varchar 20. This is it. We insert inside one, insert into attendance. Let's say name values. So we're going to put here different names. You write the same name which I write here. It will be easy for you and for me to know what we are doing. Okay. So this will be easy for you. Okay, so this will be easy for you. And then we again have, let's say, input. All right. So we have 6 records here. So select start from attendance. So we have these 6 students here. We have Joe, James, Daniel, Joe, Cam, and Monica. So as you can see, we have like two students who share the same name, but they have a different IDs. It's okay, it's no problem. Now, what we need to do, we need to find out how we need to print the students who share the names. For example, we need to print the job by using the condition. Okay. So now let's create our first procedure. Okay. Let's create a procedure. We say delimiter. We are inside. Create procedure. And then we say attendance pro. And then we say inside this one, what do we say here? We say name varchar 2020. And then we say begin. Now here is where if statement starts. We say if name, here we say if name is equal to Joe, right? Then we say, then statement here, we write the statement, select ID, select ID name from attendance, right? From attendance, right? From attendance. Next, errors. Select only names. Select only ID, right? Select ID from attendance. All right. So and if after ending the if, we end the statement, and then we delimiter. All right. So this is what? This is our procedure which we created here. So after having this procedure, let's call the procedure. Say call. First, let's say call attendance pro. Let me put, for example, I'm going to put Daniel. Okay. It gives me what? Only ID. Remember the if-else statement. If-else statement works on what? On condition. If it is true, print the first block. If it is false, go to the second block. Okay? This is one. Next part. Now print Joe. Now call Joe. Now here I call Daniel. Now if you call Joe, what will happen? What will be the output? If you call Joe in your procedure, ID name and the name will be there. Excellent. The rest one is only for the ID because it is else statement. Now let's do it. Okay. Okay. So now let's print the second one. Let's say call attendance pro Joe. All right. So it prints like it gives this name just like a Joe, like the way we put the condition there, just to show us how, I mean, if the statement is correct. You can have a different columns and you can define your condition based on, you know, the case. Okay, based on the case. Here, as you can see, all the names shows that's gonna be Joe, 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 Joe because of the condition which we made. For example, select ID name from a table where name is Joe. It only limit on Joe. It will not go further, right? It will not go further. So this is the first case of using what? If-else statement. I want to give you one more, which is which would be quite interesting for you to use it. Okay. Now we go next. This one I need your attention because it will be very helpful for you in the project which you are, in the final work which you are using. Okay. So this part, let's say you're working in registrar's office and you want to update students marks after the evaluation. Okay, you want to update points after evaluation, means you want to change the status if a student has passed. Now here the condition would be you need to decide whether a student passed or failed. Okay, you need to check if a student has passed or failed. Now, what do? You need to set a criteria. So for this course, what is the passing grade, passing point? Database design passing grade. Huh? A. Morgan, you mentioned A. The passing grade is a D+. But for the new curriculum is C, right? So it's a D+. So D+, how many points are there? Starting from 55. Okay, so that's the passing grade. Now we need to create a procedure which has to give us this condition of passing a grade. Now let's do this one. Now we are going to create one more table, and the table name which we're going to create, we're going to create this table. The name of the table, let us call the table as marks, right? Yeah, marks. Let's say create table marks. And inside these marks, let me put as follow. I'm going to put, let's say, I'm going to put the following. Let's say, I'm going to put marks, plot, and let me put here status. Varchar. All right. So this is a table, and we insert inside. Insert into table. Marks. Let's say I'm going to put 50, and the status is gonna be let's the status be let's say fail. Pardon me. Oh, thank you. Let me make this one. This also it was wrong. This is gonna be marks and the status. Okay, so this is 1, 2. Let me put 55. Let it be 55. Let me put let me put here 62. Null. I think they also can put null. Let me put null. Means status is not known. Null. And let me put here one more part, which is 51. Null. And I'm going to put one more part here, which is 54. Null. And I put here 56. Null. Okay, so we have like this part here. We have 6 rows. So if we say select style from max, so we have this. We have this. We have the marks. Only one student status is known, he failed. And others we don't know. So we need to create a procedure which has to change this status to know if a student passed or failed. Why is it not? Because it's pending. Maybe the evaluation is still going on. We don't know. Okay, we don't know. So we need to create a procedure here. So let's create a procedure. Keeping in mind the table name is a status, marks, sorry. Marks, we have 2 columns, marks and the status. So we do this. We say delimiter, create procedure, and the procedure is gonna be mark pro or mark procedure. In this mark procedure, we pass parameter in mark float. All right, in the mark float, and here we begin in the body. So in this begin here, we are going to do certain things which you have not used before, just for you to see or to understand how it is used. Inside the begin, there is one more part which is called, or one more keyword which is called declare. Declare is used to create another variable outside of the procedure name. This is a procedure, so we use a declare when you want to create one more variable outside of your procedure. So we use declare. Let's this declare be my mark float, right? Let it be my mark float. And this mark which I'm creating, I'm going to assign to the one which you have here. You're going to use assign. To assign means I want to set one more variable which can help me to access the variables in my original table or the column in my original table. I'm sorry, I coded this as a variable. You can call them a variable or the column. So we use the keyword called set. What are we gonna set? We set my mark to be equal to mark. All right. This mark which we have here, because it's inside the body, it cannot be accessible. So we need to create one more column, which is called the mark, so that we can be able to access it outside the procedure. Now here we start. Here we start. We say if let's say here we say if my mark is above 55. above or equal 55, right? What will happen? Then what is going to happen? Then update max. So we're going to update the table called the max, right? Set status is equal to what? Pass. Okay, set status equal to pass, where max is equal to my mark. Okay, where max is equal to my mark, we need to set the status. All right, so after setting the status here for this part which we have here, we say, what is next? Else update max set status to equal to fail, where max is equal to my mark. And if and the statement delimiter done. Okay. Now we set the procedure here. We need to confirm or to check if the max is passed. Remember, now let's do this. Select, start from where? Max. Sorry. Select, start from max. So this is what we have. Now let us call our procedure. Call Mac Pro, right? It's a Mac Pro. Yeah, call Mac Pro. Let me put the following. I'm going to put, let's say, 51. Right? 51. All right, one row is affected. Now select, start from select, let's say select max. No, select status from mark, where max is equal to 51, right? Is a fail, right? Look above here. The max was what? Null. Now the status has changed or updated to fail. All right, so now let's again do this. Select, start from max. Now you see now his status is here. He failed. He failed. Now, what about if you want, for example, 54 or 56? How do you update 56? Call max or Mac Pro. And then we put 56. What will happen to him? Select status from max, where max is equal to 56. Wow, you passed. You're gone. Okay, so now you can do all of them. So you say here, select, start from max. All right, so 56 he passed, that one he failed. So the rest of the cases you can do them. Okay, the rest of the pass you can be able to do them. So this is the way you can use, or the way we can use what? We can use the if-else statement and the procedure to help you to update or to, to access your table by using the store procedure. All right. So I think right after the break, we'll look one more case using case statement, and then we'll go to the actual studies for today as well. Any question, any doubt? All right, so if there's no question, I think I can introduce to you one more part which I mentioned here. Sorry. Okay, so these are the results. Let me just type here, After the break, we'll continue. Not case study. Have you used a switch case? No? Switch case in programming language. Switch case, you have not used? Okay, then we'll resume after the break.